This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
Good morning and welcome to Volusia Today. My name is Michael Ryan. I am Volusia County's Communications Director, and this is our last show of the year of 2023. I am joined in the studio by a whole panel of our communications team. Today we're going to do a year-end wrap-up and talk about what happened this year in Volusia County and a little bit of a look forward into next year. So I tell you what, Clayton, starting with you, can we all introduce ourselves?
Hey, I'm Clayton Jackson. I'm the manager of the community information team for the county.
I'm Pat Kewen, and I'm a community information specialist.
I'm David Hunt, and I am the same community information specialist.
Heather Belden, same as Pat and Dave, and kind of the one that you guys like make fun of the most, maybe.
The event extraordinaire.
Sure, yeah, that too.
You're the one that keeps me on track and it keeps me coming to meetings on time, or at least you try. Well, thank you all for joining us today. Again, this is our last show of the year, so we wanted to do a little bit of a wrap up, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in 2024. It was a big year in Volusia County. We began 2023 with a whole lot of recovery efforts from the two hurricanes that happened about a year ago, a little over a year ago now. Those recovery efforts are still ongoing, but we also, Heather had a whole lot of ribbon cuttings, a lot of new facilities that opened up, Parks and Rec, and some of our what I call our core services, water, wastewater, streets, and stuff like that. So, Clayton, for you actually ran the department for a good part of the year. Tell me a little bit about what you thought was significant in Volusia County.
Oh, you put me on the spot. There's so much to talk about. But I think one of the biggest things that came out of my area this year was working on the Transform 386 initiative. For those of you who may not know what it is, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, they actually granted the County of Volusia $328 million for recovery and future mitigation efforts as a result of Hurricane Ian. With that process, the action plan has been approved by HUD. And actually right now, that if you just want to always plug this in here, because I want our listeners to know that if your home still has damage from Hurricane Ian, or maybe you've already made those repairs and you want to seek reimbursement, that the county has already received more than 800 applications for financial assistance, and we are still accepting applications. Now, at this point, I don't know when that application portal will close, but I just want to make sure everybody out there knows that it's available right now. Recommend going to transform386.org. Go ahead and fill out an application. You could also go to any of our 14 public libraries, talk to librarians who have been trained in how to help people apply and answer questions. They're there for assistance, but it's going to be more than just housing. There's actually infrastructure, economic revitalization, and mitigation efforts that are going to be going into 2024 and future. It's a 6-year project, so this is a huge initiative that is going to help us in our recovery as well as fortify our infrastructure to prevent future disasters from causing as much damage to like we experienced in Hurricane Ian's and Nicole.
Yeah, Transform is going to be a big deal. I think, Clayton, we talked a little bit earlier about how, for many of us, those hurricanes were over a year ago. And so they came and went. Most of us went back to work the next day, and our lives were, unchanged. It's easy to forget that there's a significant portion of our population, businesses and, homeowners and taxpayers, who are still recovering. And like you said, it's a 6-year program. They will be recovering for a long time. Dave, I think that's a good segue into, you're our beach guy, not only for the homeowners and the businesses are recovering, but we're still recovering and repairing along our coast, right?
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch over the last year and kind of be embedded and help with the messaging and try to get the word out about the county's efforts in general, right? It's not just one division or department. It's a countywide effort along the coast. And I remember directly after the hurricanes, we were worried about our private property owners and our coastline in general, so we jumped into action right away, did what we could, handled the controllables, which was trying to fortify what we have on the beach and get it secure, And then getting as much beach access open as possible because, beach season was coming and the tourism industry is a big driver in our area.
Right.
And then from there, work on the permitting and allow some construction and people the ability to be able to work through sea turtle nesting season. And then tiger dams came in, the state brought in tiger dams, and then trap bags came in, and then now we're at the point where sand's on the way, and we're talking 50-year plans, right? Like the long-term construction and rebuilding and what our beach is going to look like moving into the future. Through that whole time, the focus has been doing what we can do with what we have available to do. We've gotten funding and help from the state and our partners. And through it all, just the dedication to our staff and how hard they work day in and day out kind of blew me away during the whole thing. But for current updates and like our most current information on it, sand is on the way, so we need coastal easements. So if you live along the coast, I would go to volusia.org/sand projects and just see if sand might be available for you and what you need to do to make that happen. We've got some feedback as we've gone along. The trap bag system that's been in place that the county has placed along private property owners and some of our coastal parks has been successful. We've had some big storms recently, and those have seemed to hold up. So that's really good news, and that's a positive moving forward. And what's great about those is that once we do start placing sand, those can be cut, and that sand will just go directly on that lot where that's at. But yeah, I would visit volusia.org/sand projects moving forward. And yeah, that's where we're at today. So thank you, Coastal and Environmental and everybody working together along our coast. I'm a beach guy. And then on the other side of that, I've been doing I worked a lot with beach safety over the last year. And I've never seen such like a dedicated group of people who just love what they do day in and day out. Those storms put some holes in our sandbars. We had rip currents. Mm-hmm. Rip currents seem to increase this year more than average. So the messaging to let people know about the threat of rip currents, we kind of honed in on that and really embedded ourselves over there and tried to get that information out. They did a great job. We actually got some stats at the end of the year. They were named the Beach Patrol of the Year by the Florida Beach Patrol's Chiefs Association, which is a huge accomplishment. And then just some stats for the year. They did 2,512 water rescues. They administered 35,811 preventative actions, and they responded to 1,162 medical emergencies and responded to 41,272 calls. I kind of just rattled through those, but those are some big numbers. That's somebody in a situation where they think they're in trouble, and Beach Patrol is showing up and helping out. We had the heroic night rescues in the inlet. We had a lot of accommodations of heroism where people are. There was another situation where there were 6-foot waves, lightning storm, and 2 Beach Patrol guys went out. Declan Outlaw and Gibney. Tom Gibney is his last name, went out and rescued somebody, straight up lightning, straight up 6-foot waves in the inlet, and saved people's lives. We ended up writing a proclamation for them in chamber, so it was good to give them that shine. But they're doing that day in and day out. So shouts out to Volusia County Beach Safety and Ocean Rescue. They did an amazing job this year as well.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of the first responders get a lot of the attention and the praise. You know, firefighters, EMS, and law enforcement. It's important to not forget that our beach safety people are out there also saving lives every day.
Yeah, every day. And then there's one more little plug on it. They are actually hiring part-time summer lifeguards. And it doesn't matter what age you are. I went to some of their tryouts, and there was 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, kids that were lifeguards that wanted to participate. And what they were saying was, this keeps me young. This keeps me active. This adds to my life and adds value to my life. And they're excited about it. And then the high school kids coming up. Like, what a great job to get out there, sit on the world's most famous beach, and save lives.
Right.
And get paid good money too.
It sounds like you need a new job.
Well,
it sounds like you want to.
I'm still trying to. Next year I'll be working on that.
Sounds like we're in Dave's audition right now, his interview. I think before we go to break, it really is important to note while we're talking about beaches, though, that all of those recovery efforts, not only for the private homeowners but on the beach themselves, and our numbers of reopening the walkovers and stuff, or I forget the exact number, but 90%. It's pretty high.
That's
we were
incredible.
good, and all of that was happening during a record sea turtle season. It's that has to be noted and remembered.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that, we will take a break for our sponsors, and we'll come back and talk water and wastewater with Heather.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Clayton Jackson, and you're listening to Volusia Today. So today we're just kind of the communications team. We're just having a friendly discussion, kind of each of us hitting on some of the highlights that each of us had this year while we're working with our different divisions. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Heather Belden to talk about the wonderful world of water.
Thank you, Clayton. So I handle the Public Works Division here, department with Volusia County, and one of them happens to be our water resources and utilities. Michael had mentioned early in the show that we did a lot of ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings, events like that this year, and I'll definitely say one that will leave a mark on my career was the ribbon cutting for the De Leon Springs Water Quality Project. So De Leon Springs is, as some of you may know, a little charming local community here in Volusia County, and along their kind of business corridor in 1792, our water utility division put in 3 miles of central water and sewer lines. And now these organizations and businesses and residents that live along this corridor will have access to water and wastewater. The project ended at the McInnes Elementary School, which is kind of the end of the project line for now, giving the school access to this water. And, you know, part of the story is obviously now people have access to clean water, which they didn't have dirty water before, but just making it easier to get that water and then to turn their wastewater into advanced water treatment center. So now it can be used for irrigation, different things. But ultimately, it's going to reduce the nutrient load to our spring shed in that area. And that goes back to, you know, the water that we all drink and the water that contributes to our environment and the animals. So there were a lot of good things that came out of this project. The event was great. We partnered with the De Leon Springs Community Association, the City of DeLand, the Volusia School System, and also our partners at the state level, the St. John's River Water Management District and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. So a huge win for De Leon Springs, but also Volusia County.
Heather, for me, it's easy to forget public works and water, wastewater. You know, as long as you turn your water on, you're happy. You don't think twice about it, right? But that project hit on 3 levels. You mentioned the springs and manatees. I mean, that's God's work here in Florida, right? I mean, it doesn't get more Florida than that. And also the kids, if I remember right, the kids were in that school were having to drink bottled water.
There were times, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's. I mean, in 2023, that's just not acceptable, right? And then the third part of that is economic development for De Leon Springs, and so it's going to be interesting to see what that does to get all of those businesses off of septic, and to see if that area grows in the future.
Yeah, and there were so many other little things. Like they brought up the fact that they didn't have fire hydrants with a kind of continuous water flow. So I mean,
Public
you're
safety.
you're looking at so many different areas that just this one project impacted. And we actually just recently got word from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection that we were awarded 2 additional grants for other water quality projects with our Water Resources and Utilities Division. And so another $12 million and change going to the Southeast Reclamation Water Facility in Oak Hill, and another 25+ million going to our Southwest Reclamation Facility in DeBerry, which the one in Oak Hill impacts the Indian River Lagoon, and the one on the west side impacts both our Volusia Blue and Gemini Spring. And so it's just amazing to see the work that everyone's putting in to make sure that we keep our water quality at the level that we love.
And big shouts to Mike Ulrich, right?
Mike Ulrich, the Aquaman.
Jeez Louise, what a passionate guy.
And he'll be the first to say that it's a group effort, and I love that about him. But it really is, and we have so many great local partners with the cities and with like the state departments and things like that. So just a great team effort for something that we all need.
What's his saying? Nobody can do it all, but we can all do something.
We can all do something.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love that.
I love that. Pat, let's talk a little bit about some wildlife projects that happened this year.
That's right. It's been a great year for the wildlife in Volusia County. First off, we've got Volusia Forever, which is a taxpayer-approved program that purchases conservation lands in the middle of the county because we want to widen that wildlife corridor that allows the large mammals to move from north to south, and it gives more habitat to all of our critters, the gopher tortoises and the birds. And my favorite project this year was the opening of the raptor exhibit at the Marine Science Center. It's a wonderful place, and y'all need to stop by and see it. We built new homes for our raptors, which are birds of prey. They're not dinosaurs. So
No velociraptor.
Thank you for clearing that up.
right.
It's not Jurassic Park over there.
No, it's not. And we've got Bubba there. He's the king of the raptors. He's a magnificent great horned owl. And he likes to say, woo-hoo. And he's been there for 15 years, wowing the crowds ever since he fell out of his nest, and our bird crew fixed him up. And they're also taking good care of Einstein. He's a little bitty screech owl who got hit by a car, and now he's missing an eye. So all of the birds there cannot be released because they can't survive in the wild, especially the owls. They need good wings, and they need both eyes in order to dive bomb their prey. And the sea turtles went gangbusters this year. We were afraid they weren't going to come back after those dang hurricanes, but we had a record-breaking year. They laid over 1,500 nests, and despite the construction that was going on the beach and the erosion of the dunes. So they're doing quite well, and they sent a lot of hatchlings back out into the ocean.
Pat, you do some messaging also on ways to get out and kind of enjoy the events and ways to get out and kind of enjoy the environment, right? So residents can get involved.
Oh, that's right. We have our Explore Volusia program, and environmental management has several other things. Green Volusia Volunteers, and you can read all about that on our website. They have kayaking tours, eco buggy rides through conservation lands.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Hidden gems, activities for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I think before we go to break, while we're talking about wildlife, it's also worth noting that we opened the county's newest dog beach in something like 32 years or something like that, up in Ormond Beach this year. It's super successful. I think it's a great partnership between the community and the county and some nonprofit organizations that were instrumental in bringing that forward. So, Dave, we were there on a cold, rainy morning in, what was that, October? When we cut the ribbon on that?
Something like that.
And
but it was wild. It was, we were worried about, it was on the beach.
Yep.
Tides, wind, rain.
I still had 100 of our favorite four-legged friends join us that morning.
Yeah, it worked out. It was an awesome event. And that's between Rockefeller and Millsap Road in Ormond. Make sure to clean up after your dogs.
Yeah.
Keep them on a 6-foot leash.
I tell you, that's
so we can keep it going.
Clean up after your dogs and keep them on a 6-foot leash. With that, we'll take another break.
Make the most of your day at the beach. Download the Volusia County Beaches app today. Sign up for real-time notifications on vehicle ramp openings and closings. Find staffed lifeguard towers. Get updates on tides and beach conditions, plus off-beach parking and coastal parks info. Volusia County Beaches app is available for your smart devices at the App Store and Google Play.
Good morning and welcome back to Volusia Today. My name is Michael Ryan. I am your communications director. I am joined in the studio today for the last show of 2023 by an esteemed, I don't know if that's the right word, panel of my coworkers and my colleagues on the communications team. And thank you all for being here with me today. I very much appreciate it. We're having a roundtable discussion on 2023 and going to touch a little bit on what we can look forward to in 2024. We have the communications team is made up of a handful of what we call public information officers or marketing specialists. We divide the county's 44, something like that, divisions up, and everybody takes a silo. Is it 44?
Oh,
No,
I'm
something like that.
not going to fact check you. Right?
Yeah, don't fact check me. Dave, don't ever fact check me. I stay high level. Anyway, we divide the work chart up, and we operate on a liaison system where every PIO has a certain set of departments that they work with intimately to help tell their stories and help the community understand what we do. And I tell you what, Heather, let's touch base. You handle Parks and Recreation.
I do, and I love it with all my heart. So shout out Parks and Rec.
Wait. You also handle water and wastewater.
Yeah.
What do you like more, Parks and Rec or wastewater?
Oh, they're very different.
You gotta make the
But
call.
you need both of them. You know, you need a little public works to
That's
make
true.
your life happen. But Parks and Rec, that gives you quality of life. So, they both have their high
That's
points.
very diplomatic.
That's why she's a communications specialist.
That's true. Also, don't fact check her either. So tell us about Parks and Rec. What happened in 2023 in Parks?
Yeah, 2023 parks. We have so many great parks here in Volusia County. So if you don't know about them, go to our website, take a look through. Each park, you can click through and look at the list of amenities. Speaking of amenities, we have a really cool new amenity at two of our parks, one on the east side, one on the west side. Can you guess what the fastest growing sport is here in the United States?
Dave.
It's not surfing, Dave.
It's not surfing, Dave.
It's pickleball.
It's pickleball.
And we actually just opened 2 new courts at Chuck Lennon, which is in De Leon Springs, and 3 new courts at Bicentennial, which is in Ormond Beach. So if you have not tried pickleball and you like kind of tennis and kind of badminton and maybe a little volleyball or ping pong, go give it a try. It is a blast. And then obviously you can't talk about our parks without talking about our trail system. We did open a trail, I guess like a trailhead at the Marine Discovery Center. Just another opportunity for us to have something available for the trail riders. Our trail system is continuing to grow. Hopeful to start closing the loop on the River to Sea Loop, which connects us to 5 other counties, and the Coast to Coast Trail, which goes from St. Pete to Brevard County. So get on our website. There's a Volusia County Parks app that can get you mapped out on a good trail ride or get you to a park where it might have something for you or your family to enjoy.
Clayton, if I wanted to visit one of Heather's parks or wastewater treatment plants, you have a new way for me to get there.
Well, not through my Camry, but through the Volusia County Transit Services Division, which also administers Votran. We're very excited that in December, actually on December 5th, that we launched the new VoRide service, VORIDE. What that is a cost-efficient ride share service. It's a genuine ride share service. It's only right now. It is only available in the DeLand service region. We do have expansion plans into the Orange City, Deltona, and the Berry region sometimes in 2024. But what this is, and I just want to, I got to stop because I get very excited on this part. It's $2. $2 a ride per passenger.
Even Dave can afford that.
But well,
For this Christmas.
It keeps getting better, though.
So it's $2 per ride. But if you are disabled, you're 65 or older, or you are a young child under the age of 18, that's 50% off. So it's actually $1 per fare.
And no tip.
And no, not just no tip, you're not allowed to tip.
You're not even allowed to tip.
Not even allowed to tip. So very cost effective. It's only the DeLand service region, but we do have expansion plans. Download the app, available through the App Store and Google Play. Find out more about it. Test it out. You won't be disappointed.
Clayton, talking about expansion plans, I just left a meeting at the airport. Big things going on there in 2023 and heading into 2024. And also the county council has made it a priority for us to look at programming expansion plans for the Ocean Center. So they have a brand new director there, very nice. She comes from Atlanta. Big ideas, big plans. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with the Ocean Center next year. They are already picking up new concerts and new entertainment. So let's go real quick around the room as we close it. Pat, what are you looking forward to in Volusia County in 2024?
Oh, heck, I'd like to give a shout out to economic development. We have some fine folks over there who work real hard to support our small businesses. They provide information about webinars and grants. And their most recent initiative is the Work Local initiative. This is a system, an app, and an online service where people can apply for jobs online, and they apply anonymously. And this is intended to reduce biases in the hiring process. Yeah,
that's a great new program. Dave, in about 10 seconds, what are you looking forward to in 2024?
I'm looking forward to the springtime.
What are you looking forward to Volusia County in 2024 within your department?
I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens on the beach. Big things are coming.
Heather?
I got two. Shout out to Berry Hall Historic Site. Get out there, go see their events, and the brand new medical examiner facility. We're having a ribbon cutting in January. It's going to be a great public service to the people of our lovely county.
Clayton?
Telling our story.
How are you going to do that in 2024?
Through multiple variety of ways. Also, just everyone be on the lookout for a new community newsletter that's going to be available. We're going to start distributing that in January. So let's keep a lookout on our website and social media, because we will have a sign-up page coming soon.
Volusia County, thank you very much for listening to us in 2023. And this is going to be so cliche, but we'll see you next year.
Happy New Year!